Welcome to Brain Fog Banter, where two women in the messy middle of perimenopause try to make sense of what's happening as it's happening.
We're not doctors, we're just curious, unfiltered, and figuring it out right alongside you.
Every other episode, we bring in experts to help explain the stuff our bodies never warned us about.
And the rest of the time, we're swapping stories with each other and asking way too many personal questions. So let's stumble through it together. This is Brain Fog Banter.
So today we are talking to Becky Miner. Becky Miner is a wealth of knowledge and has been personally an incredible resource for all of us as we are navigating menopause and weight gain and changes to nutrition. I don't know about you, but it feels like every time I eat something, my body reacts differently than it did even like 5 years ago before I started perimenopause. So Becky, why don't you start by telling us a little bit about yourself and kind of what led you to this realm, and we'll go from there.
So I'm Becky. I'm 44 years old, and I've been through many different stages of weight loss journeys and been involved in the fitness profession for 14 years. And in the last 5 years, worked for a fitness company where I worked one-on-one with clients, many of them struggling with menopause. Worked with clients who have had hysterectomies. It might make weight loss harder, but it doesn't make it impossible.
That's something common that I hear with women in our age, right? Like, is it our metabolism slowing down that makes it harder to lose weight? Like, what's the science behind why it's so much harder to lose weight in this stage of life?
So I'll start with touching on the metabolism piece, because, you hear lots of phrases like my metabolism slowed down, or I don't have a fast metabolism, or I do have a fast metabolism. So people don't really know what that means. So they turn to, products that advertise about speeding up your metabolism. Josh and I were just reading the Celsius bottle, and basically it claims to give you more energy because it has caffeine. In turn, you'll move more, which boosts your metabolism. That's it. What we do is we think, oh, I have a fast metabolism. Let me look for products that tell me how, they'll speed up my metabolism. Metabolism is one thing and one thing only, and it's how much you move throughout the day. Menopause causes increased fatigue and increased hunger. So it's the exact opposite of what causes weight loss. So you're tired, so you move less, which means you get more tired.
I feel that.
So the bad news is you're hungrier and you're more tired. So your body wants more calories to keep you awake, but you're not moving enough to use that fuel. So if you don't move enough, you're not burning it. That's it. So the good news is when your calories are monitored and your movement is monitored, then you can combat that. And it is going to be hard. There are going to be days where you're more hungry, but if you're trying to lose weight and you're in a calorie deficit, then you learn about how you have maintenance calories and you work through those days where you're more hungry, or you learn about foods that keep you fuller longer while you're enjoying all the yummy stuff as well.
So what are some foods, like if I am starting out with absolutely I've not thought about my nutrition prior to this, and suddenly I'm having weight gain and that isn't normal for me. Side note, I've been doing the roller coaster thing my entire life. But a lot of women I know haven't struggled with their weight until they get to kind of this midlife area where all of a sudden it's like, so where do you focus? Because it can be really overwhelming and complicated. Where do you focus to start?
So number one, use your Apple Watch, or you can even get the cheapest tracker at Walmart, something that's going to track your movement rather than going to the gym and focusing on the calories your watch is telling you you're burning, which is inaccurate. It's better to track your regular non-exercise activity. So it's actually called NEAT. It's non-exercise activity. It's the things that you do throughout the day that make the biggest difference in your metabolism. So while you want to go to that Zumba class or that boxing class, like I offer, if you're not moving throughout the day, you're not increasing your metabolism. So you put a watch on or a tracker, start paying attention. If you notice you're getting 6,000 steps a day, then maybe you make a goal of 7,500 or 8,000, and you just work till you get there. And then when that gets easy, you have a goal of 10,000 and you make it part of your daily routine. It honestly doesn't take that much. And you could walk for 20 minutes or jog for 20 minutes and you're going to get the same metabolic reward. So it's not as much effort as people think. It's just commitment, consistency to move.
That makes sense. It's so funny because I think of the days I have an Apple Watch and I put it on days when I'm subbing because I know I'm going to be moving a ton. So I'm going to see that like reward of my steps being high. But on days when I'm home and working from home, I don't even put it on because it's like, why even bother? I'm barely moving. So your point is you should be trying to move your body consistently throughout the day to combat that fatigue.
We want to ignore things, but if we ignore them, then we just don't know. So I wear my watch to work, and a lot of times my movement's not including like my arms, right? I might be tapping my feet, moving my legs, and that is movement. You are creating energy that's going to burn. I used to laugh when they would say like, oh, park further away or go for a walk, because I would be like, what? A walk? Like, come on. But I was not informed. So if you do look at your watch throughout the day, even if you are home, it might motivate you to vacuum the rug to get that extra.
Absolutely. Yeah. I just did it yesterday. I just cleaned the whole house so that I could get more steps in.
I have a suggestion. If you're interested or anyone that's listening says, oh, that's me, it's a weekly average. So don't get hard on yourself on the low days. But what you could do is say to yourself, I don't want to walk on those days. Like I take the dog for a walk and that's it. I'm not doing any extra. But if you know your weekly average is that you're trying to hit 70,000 steps, then you can figure out, like you might get to Sunday and be like, oh my God, if I got on the treadmill for 15 minutes, I would hit my weekly goal. And a lot of times people are doing better than they think. It motivates them to do more.
Question. Do you still need to do the 10,000 steps if you're doing the work?
That is a great question. They actually do two totally different jobs. So this is what I try to explain to clients as an easy way to visualize. The walking, the movement, blow drying your hair, eating your cereal, walking to the office and back. All those little things are what determines the size of your body. Calories, it's not significant enough for your weight loss to make a difference. So think of the walking and the movement as what shrinks your body, and think of the weights and the exercise as what shapes what's underneath the layers you're losing. The other thing you can do is you prioritize protein. You stay full longer, and what happens is as you start to lose weight and you're doing weight training, you're not going to get those deflated arms because you're promoting sustaining your muscle.
Okay. That makes sense.
So if you came to me, if I was coaching you and you said I had a really long day and I only have 30 minutes, I can lift weights or I can get on the treadmill, I would say get on the treadmill. If your main goal was weight loss.
What are some of the biggest myths about menopause and weight gain that frustrate you most? So like shit that people say that is not based in science, is not based in anything real, or is maybe perpetuating like negative stereotypes about our bodies and weight loss in general.
Yeah. So, there's so much misinformation out there, and just simply being able to track your calories and your movement and have that make a big difference. And that's not the message that's out there. Now, that's not true for everybody. People have medical conditions, they're on medications that prevent weight loss, but the simple signs of things, they complicate everything. And not only just menopause, but like with women in general, there's so much misinformation. I'll give an example. I just saw this trainer that was like, if you want to get rid of the lower belly mom pooch, and he's sitting on a chair and he's like doing these leg tuck-ins, and it's like, no, it's a calorie deficit. So number one, calorie deficit, it's energy in, energy out. If you go to another country and you look at a nutrition label, it doesn't say calories, it says energy. It's such a money making industry that it's easier to just sell you products and then have you frustrated, when honestly it's just monitoring your calories. The other thing is you're not going to get the same nutritional value eating a Snickers bar instead of a banana. But if the Snickers bar and the banana are the same calories and you need that Snickers bar, then you should have it. The pendulum swings both ways. You take everything out. The other thing is sugar. Like, If we want to get into medical conversations about ingredients and dyes and sugars and fake sugars and all of this, that's one subject. But those things are not linked to weight loss and weight gain. When we do eat those treats that we think we're not supposed to have, take Doritos, for example, you're grabbing a bag from the gas station because you really need some chips. You're getting a 3 serving size bag of Doritos and you don't even know it.
I think it can be really overwhelming if you're suddenly dealing with everything that menopause and perimenopause brings to your life. Where do you start? You start by tracking calories if you want to lose some weight because it's energy in, energy out. But what tech or tips do you have to make it a little bit easier on yourself, especially if you're someone who's maybe starting with like no information? How many calories do I even need?
Yeah, there is a macro calculator for company Macros Inc., which I used to work for. You guys know for years. Just type in Macros Inc., INC, like incorporated, MACROS. You don't have to be macro counting, but it will give you your calories. Start with any macro tracking app. And then just start logging your food. Don't stress out about macros and protein, carbs, and fats, but like just log your food. You don't have to be awesome at anything other than making sure that what you put in your app or you scan or you input matches the nutrition info on the package. Before I even knew what macros were, which are protein, carbs, and fats, they mathematically make up the calories in the item. When I first started tracking calories and I realized that was the science behind losing weight, I lost 30 pounds just tracking my food. And I wasn't weighing, I was just estimating. I was like medium banana, 30 pounds. But I also then ended up with what I felt like were kind of deflated arms because I lost muscle too. So then I switched to macros and prioritizing protein. Turn over labels. Like if you're in the grocery store, people are like, I don't know what to eat. Well, what do you want to eat? You want to make burgers for dinner? Okay, get 93.7. Don't go to the restaurant and skip the bun. You're skipping a 150 calorie bun and eating a 500 calorie slab of meat. So like these are the things though that we just don't know. Keep it simple. Putting in what you eat. I don't care if you have to look up a Hershey Kiss and put in the 4 that you had, put them in there. It's not all negative. It's not all what I can't have, which is power. Let me ask you a question. Jenny packs her lunch every day for work and she is on a Dorito kick. So every day she is putting a bag of Doritos in there. She's eating them every day. She looks forward to them. She goes to a Super Bowl party today and there's a big bowl of Doritos. What are the chances she's going to go hog wild and overdo it on the Doritos?
Right.
Because she's not deprived from them. Also, don't get mad at yourself when you eat more than you should. But that's what people do, right? We go to the Super Bowl today. We're like, oh man, I ate those 3 quesadillas. Now I might as well have the entire gallon of ice cream. It's just extra food. Move on. You're punishing yourself. So one thing that people do is they put moral compass on food and they shouldn't. So food is not bad or good. It's just food. Slowly make changes so it's sustainable. If you hate water, put a flavor packet in it. If you're afraid of artificial sweeteners or they hurt your belly or your doctor said don't have them, find a natural flavor packet. Like there is really a solution for every problem. And you know what? If you do start counting your calories, don't change up what you're eating. Just start paying attention. Don't try to go crazy. Just gather data. And you'll find that you'll start staying in your calories before you even try.
Becky, is there anything else that you feel like you want to share about managing your weight in menopause?
I hope that it's helpful to some people. And, you know, if you do find people are like coming up with questions, it'd be awesome to answer them.
Jen and I have 2 questions that we like to ask, and then we'll get all of your contact information so that people can follow you because, guys, she has incredible content and it's just uplifting and more of what we need in 2025. So what is your go-to guilty pleasure?
Doing whatever I want instead of what everybody wants me to do.
Yes. What's one thing that you do for self-care? That's like your favorite thing to do to like feel good.
Makeup every day.
I love that.
Moisturizing and my makeup. And it's so funny because I don't know, some people don't think it's important, but for me, it makes me feel good and ready for the day and confident. Living in an area where I know a lot of people and with my business and everything, I feel like it gives me a mask of protection almost, where it's like I can present myself out in public the way that I want to. And by no means do I think that we need to do that with makeup and such, but it makes me feel ready. It's kind of like when you get that great outfit that you put on for the day and you just feel confident.
I love that. So, Becky, tell us how people can find you and follow you and interact with you and all of your goodies more.
So you can find me on Instagram. I'm at Body by Miner, and that's Miner. So over 21, but a coal miner. So Body by Miner, and on Facebook, Becky Miner. I have a public profile, so you can follow me there. And I just like to spread positivity and, help people.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for everything. We'll make sure to put your links in the show notes.
Thanks for hanging out with us in the fog today.
If you had a laugh, learned something new, or just felt a little more seen,
Go ahead and follow the show. You can also leave us a review, share this episode with a friend, or slide into our DMs with your own midlife mayhem.
We're here for it. All of it.
Catch you next time on Brain Fog Banter.